Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is economic growth trends here and abroad. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
We got a historic January and February here. February, from the standpoint, and you may know this, is that this month we have 4 of every day of the week. So we have 4 Sundays, 4 Mondays, 4 Tuesdays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Thursdays, 4 Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And
Interesting.
The reason that's historic, that won't happen again for 823 years. So
fun fact.
Absolutely. And we had a great January. We were all smiles, right?
That's right, yeah.
So let's talk about that for just a minute in terms of the growth trends that we are seeing here and abroad. So Trey, talk about good old USA.
Yeah, that's right. So the U.S. market was up in January. That bodes well for the year. Typically, positive January leads to a positive year.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily always go into February. Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood, as the saying goes.
February is typically a weak month, but that doesn't mean just because it goes down in February that we won't make it back up. A lot better than last January.
Oh, yeah. Last January was historic.
Yeah, the
worst
January in history.
Yeah.
So to be positive is great. You know, the market was down for the last 4 trading days of January, but that didn't lead to a down month. We still had a lot of good momentum, and that's going into it. And then at the end of January, we got the jobs report, which the headline number everyone saw was 227,000 jobs. But what we really like to look at is underneath that is the wages. Wages are the most important part of the jobs because if people make more money, they spend more money, you get GDP growth. That's a little more forward looking than most of the data is backwards looking. And so we want growth. And the wage growth was a little slow at 0.1%. So we haven't really had the market lead to economic growth yet, but that's typically a market wants to lead that anyways.
Right, but in our discussions, we also had the counter that normally, historically, February trades back some.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
and
correct.
so far, we haven't seen any weakness.
No, February's been very strong so far, which, this time can always be different.
Sure.
And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. And then you talked about the rest of the world.
Yeah.
We spent last year also worried about what's going on with their economies overseas. Talk about that.
Past few months, it's all been about the U.S. election, U.S. economy, and what's been ignored is the growth overseas in the Eurozone and Asia. Fascinating fact, over the weekend, Bill Gates actually did some research, and the past 3 years, China has used more cement than the U.S. has in the past 100. Think about that. 3 years, China used more cement than the U.S. did in the past 100 years. That's a growth story. And so that's
we're
looking very
starting
positive.
to see international economies pick up steam
Absolutely,
as well.
yeah.
That's great. So on that note, we want you to understand that economic growth trends are alive and well. We're going to keep you updated. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, as well as these vlogs. And for those of you who have emailed us with questions and concerns, keep them coming. Thank you so much. Have a great week.